Let me preface this yard by saying I have a lot of changes from past years because we had to replace our old cedar fence. It was falling apart, so I could not hang any of my yard art on the new vinyl fence. So we saved sections of the fence, as you can see here, my little squirrel ladder.
There was some party at Mount Carmel that day too, and
the caps from the old posts and a three picket card.
Can't afford them and
So
they want to go.
Another space to display yard art, since they could not go on the fence, as I said. I love color. Purple is one of my favorite colors, and these were from the now closed Glitter Garden Center. And so these are from there. I painted them purple, which gives a nice accent. A repurposed bird cage holder. A lot of perennials and some annuals in pots. Old tabletop, which I painted purple, of course. And in past years, we had a big vine growing up from the yard, and I was happy to see that go because it was growing into the fence, growing into the tabletop. And so I was happy to see that come down. And then some more examples of repurposed fence sections. All of my rusty yard art, which I love.
Tell me about how you acquired these things over time. Over what period of time are we talking?
Oh, garage sales, flea markets. I'm big into antiques. The rustier these pieces get, the better I like them because they really add character. And another repurposed fence section. And these had weathered to the gray color, and I spray painted everything, most of these sections brown, except for the squirrel ladder up in the front, which is purple. These are the old fence posts. We saved all of the posts, and so now we have some raised beds. And they replaced the rotting out landscape timbers that had been there previous. Another section, this one is green, and I have hens and chicks growing out of cinder blocks. And I have my skeleton keys displayed over there. And then a small section here with my 3 owls.
Tell me a little bit about your journey as a gardener. How long have you been a gardener?
Well, I've been in the garden club since 2008. And it all started when we took down our swimming pool. And I noticed my clothesline poles, which I use on the hanger out, in the cooperating weather. But they look like giant plant stands, and so I stuck some hanging baskets on them, and that led to just doing stuff along the fence. And because with the pool we did have the old privacy fence, but little by little it just kind of evolved. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it.
Were you a gardener before you joined the Garden Society?
The only thing I had were the roses growing on the side of the house, and they used to thrive on neglect, and they don't thrive on neglect anymore. And I lost a beautiful yellow climbing rose this winter. It was so brutal. So I replace some things and I try new things, and it's evolving.
As president of the Garden Society, tell me a little bit about the organization.
Well, we have 36 members. We meet the last Wednesday of the month at Clearing Library. We have had beekeepers, we've had herbalists, we have wildflower experts. We have a little bit of everything at our monthly meetings. Sometimes we have a craft project. We have several master gardeners as members, and so everybody, we have a section during the business meeting where people can ask questions, any old garden problems, any new garden problems. We get tips like how to keep stray cats out of your yard, sprinkle coffee grounds along the fence, which I just did this year because the neighbor cat likes to come in my yard. But it's an interesting group and a lot of wonderful, nice people, and we hope everybody will consider joining.
So if somebody sees this video and says, well, I'm a gardener, but I've never joined the society, you just encourage them to just show up at the next meeting?
Absolutely. In fact, our program, there's a ticket for a free admission. Our dues are $10 a year plus $1 at each meeting, because all of that money, pays for all of our speakers and programs.
I have the smaller hostas here. They're called June, and I love them because they're kind of compact and they're kind of stay in their place and takes care of everything. So that works well for me.
Mm-hmm.
And a Japanese maple here in my front landscaping, and some other. What do you call it?
How long have you been a gardener?
You know, I was born and raised on a farm.
Were you? Whereabouts?
Thorpe, Wisconsin. It's in Wisconsin. And we had beautiful gardens. My mother was good at raising all that stuff
Really?
and stuff. And
What kind of gardens on the farm? Like vegetable gardens?
vegetables. We had
Mhm.
enough vegetables to last all winter. We never went to the store. And here are some of my planters. This is called aluminum lace or silver lace. I love it. It'll go all the way to the ground. This is Japanese grass here, and lady's mantle, and Solomon's seal, and this has like berries, white little eggs all the way down. This is the first thing that comes up in the spring, but I love it. I love the foliage because it stays like this all summer. Looks nice. And these are my profusion zinnias. And some dahlias and rose trees. These trees I have to bury for the winter. So I dig a trench and just lay them down and cover them with leaves and stuff like that. And my rose bush and my clematis. I like the color combination, don't you? The peach and purple.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And here I have my old pansies that I took from a pot that were overgrown. And I wanted to put something else in the pot, so I want to try to save these for spring, see if they come up. And then the lamb's ears. This is a Japanese maple, about 20 years old. But sometimes it gets such a red, it's almost black. It's a deep, deep, deep burgundy. My sign, Great Grandma's Garden. And here I have my tomato plants. I have 5 tomato plants. I have tomatoes already. And some hydrangeas back there. I just got a pink one. You want to take a picture of my tomatoes? There's a cluster of 5 here. And then there's yarrow over there. And this is phlox, which will bloom later. And blue asters will bloom a little later. This is a Japanese lilac. It has beautiful, just finished blooming, big flowers. It smells real pretty. And this is Japanese anemone, but it's not blooming yet. And there's my Saint.
I notice you get residents up in the tree here.
All over they are.
Yeah.
I have birds in all those birdhouses.
Really?
There's little holes that they have.
Mm-hmm.
It's St. Francis of Assisi.
I see. St. Francis is represented more than once.
Yeah, you know
Right.
what? My daughter was very fond of St. Francis. She had a big cement statue in the backyard, and she passed away.
Mhm.
So I thought I should just carry on her
It's really nice.
tradition.
Really nice.
This is my welcome pot with a new plant this year that I'm trying out. The name of it is Dip Latin. It's a new one. I'm not too familiar with this plant, but everybody seems to like it. I have lavender over here with some purple verbena, kind of mixing the two lavender colors, purple colors together with some beautiful hydrangeas. And over this part here, I like the color combination with lantana and these beautiful bluey purple flowers. The kind of color combination goes together very well.
Mm-hmm.
I have floral clocks over here, which come up by seed, and they will be red with beautiful perfume smell
Mhm.
to them.
Why are they called 4 o'clocks? Do they bloom in the late afternoon? Or?
Yes, around 4 o'clock they'll open up.
Mhm.
During the day they are closed.
Mhm.
Here I have lots of dill, which I don't really cook with this, but this is very good for butterflies. They'll lay their eggs in there, and the caterpillar will eat off of it, and then the little hosting for them to make a butterfly.
Right.
So, and then here I have my miniature roses collection. These 3 here I've done some cuttings, which is very easy to do. Just cut a piece of rose, and then you stick it in the ground and put a jar over it. And then in a couple of weeks you'll get a new plant.
Mhm.
And I've successfully done 3. These 3, these 2 I purchased. And these are Happy Day daylilies, which I'm very happy to have because we had a garden member, Ray, who was very good with daylilies. His whole yard was full of different varieties, and he's now passed away, so I'm honored to have some of his flowers in my yard.
Nice.
And then here I have some dahlias, which they're very small right now, but they'll get bigger and bloom something like the yellow one. And then I have lilies. They're bloom. They're short-lived. They're beautiful when they're in bloom.
Mhm.
I have my pot. And I have potato vine with petunias, and those 2 petunias I did by cuttings also.
Mhm.
I was planting them and they broke off, and I just stuck them in the ground, and
Mhm.
they're not so big now, but last year they were just enormous. But the harsh winter made me cut down about 2 feet of them. So they're only grew 2 feet from the ground. They are coming back, and they are doing well.
What? Tell me about the harsh winter. That's an interesting comment. What?
I think they said because of the heavy snow,
Mhm.
the snow on the plant, I guess it didn't like that, and so it was like dead. Brown
Right.
branches like 2 feet up.
Mhm.
So when it came back, it started from the bottom and it came up, so I had to cut all the dead branches off.
Right.
So then it would have room and give strength to what was growing.
Do you think rose bushes are pretty much resilient, that it'll bounce back?
They pretty much are. These particular ones are, because they're knockout roses,
Mhm.
and they're very hardy and disease resistant,
Mhm.
which I do recommend. They have 2 varieties, a single bloom, and these are the double blooms,
Mhm.
and so they do very well here.
Mhm.
And then this year is something new that I have. It's a pond, and it's a very simple pond. It has like 10 gallons of water in here, and I have water lettuce, and I have water hyacinths, and today it's special. You have a bloom for everyone to see,
Mhm.
and canna lilies, which these 2 are new for me, so
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to see what kind of flower, if they will flower.
Mhm.
And as long as you keep water moving in a pond, it'll keep away the mosquitoes.
Right.
Mosquitoes won't lay their eggs in there.
Right.
And I also put little tablets in there to keep the water clean.
Mhm.
So it's doing very well. And
Is the
very
lettuce
pleased.
the type you would eat, or is it strictly
No.
ornamental?
No, it's ornamental.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and I don't think it flowers either. This is the
Mhm.
first time I've had water lettuce, but I know the hyacinths bloom.
Mhm.
And then these are my vegetable area,
Mhm.
and because I have containers and don't have trellises, these are green beans that don't need it. They're just a bush green beans. And this is also cucumbers that are like a bush cucumber, so they're not viney,
Right.
so they don't need a trellis. And
Mhm.
my tomatoes, I have grape and cherry, and I'm not sure what these are. These were given to me, so
Mhm.
we'll see how well they do.
Mhm.
And this is a new crop of strawberries. Because of the winter, I lost my strawberries,
Really?
so I went and purchased new ones, and the birds seem to have found them. So I put a netting over them,
Right.
but I'm not getting that many.
Do strawberries typically they would overwinter? They would survive the winter
Yes.
here. Like you
Yes.
wouldn't have to take them inside or anything.
No, no, they will come back. I've had them successfully for a few years,
Hmm.
but because of the winter, it was bad for all.
And was it the amount of snow or was it the severe cold or what? What do you
I
think
think
killed them?
they said it was the amount of snow
Right.
staying on the plants.
Right. So they couldn't
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
And then here I have carrots and spinach,
Mhm.
and then peppers in the back.
Mhm.
And then this is cilantro.
Nice. So these will be on your table at some point, right?
Yes, yes,
Very
I'm
nice.
looking forward. I never planned it for carrots and the spinach,
Mhm.
so I'm looking forward to it. And then on this side I have some flowers and I have some herbs. In the back section I have thyme, rosemary, lemon verbena, which you can use as put in tea, basil. Behind that is oregano, and then I have chives, and this is just some roses and some other types of flowering plants. And this is another area that I really like. This is a Japanese maple, and along there I have ulysses and the blue panther. This is like my 4th of July type potting that I did. And this neat little hairy plant, this is a fiber optic glass. So it's a really neat little special. It's a geranium, which I winter year after year.
Mhm.
But you can do that.
What do you do with that over the winter? You bring it inside?
Yeah, I put it in an area where it's around 50 degrees or so.
Right.
And then sometimes it will flower, and sometimes it'll stay dormant. I water it a little bit, but it stays pretty content.
Okay, this is my vegetable garden. I use grass clippings in the summertime when I cut the grass, and I have a monarch butterfly. And then in the fall, I put my mulch leaves there, and it has really provided real rich soil. And I grow the eggplant, cucumber, zucchini, yellow squash, cherry tomatoes, regular tomatoes, and green peppers. And that lonely little tomato all the way over there is share the food or something. Share the
Right. I've
Yeah.
heard about the club.
Yeah.
The society participates
it's
in that.
not doing real good, but I'll probably have some tomatoes to donate anyway.
Mhm.
And this I got in Arizona.
Mhm. Tell me about your history as a gardener. How long have you been gardening?
Well, I've lived here 5 years,
Mhm.
and I've always had gardens
Mhm.
anywhere I lived. So when I came here, this was holes and thistles and terrible. So
Mhm.
I've pretty much done it all in the last 5 years. But I've always done some gardening.
Mhm.
In the spring, I have tulips, daffodils, and hyacinth here.
Mhm. And the
And
monarch butterfly.
Yeah, how about that? He likes it here. Come on, open up with that.
And
and
tell me what else we have. Let's.
Okay, and then after the tulips die out, then the daylilies come up,
Mhm.
and they share the space.
Mhm.
And this is more daylilies, and these are Asiatic lilies. Unfortunately, I only have the 2 left. They were really beautiful. They were really dense. And then this is the black-eyed Susan and the coneflowers, of course.
Mhm.
And then back here, the only annuals I have in the ground are the begonias. They're just to give it a little color, and the alyssum. And my topsy-turvy over there with the
That's a clever touch with the multiple pots. Very nice.
yeah. It's a kit that I built.
With that?
This is my herb garden. We have parsley, dill, basil, oregano,
Mhm.
rosemary, and chives.
Mhm. What do we have here?
These are supposed to be waved petunias. I'm still waiting for them to. I had envisioned them cascading down,
Mhm.
maybe by July or August.
This is probably the focus of our yard. We have a pond here. We've had it about
6 years since we moved in, and we finally, it's kind of coming along, getting to the point where we want it. We have a wall of birdhouses that we put up this year to kind of add some color and interest to that wall. If you come over here, we have some water lilies that are blooming, and I have a lot of fish, and they're all hiding under the lily pads, but I have a lot of,
I see 'em.
yeah, if you can see them, that's very cool. Come on, guys, he's gonna come up. Oh, no, not today. Oh, if it was time to eat, they'd be up here in a, oh, there you go, come on.
What did this look like before you moved in? Tell me what
This was filled with dirt, and there was cruddy little plants in here that, you know, just, it was too small for the area. I mean, this is a big yard, and it didn't have the proper perspective. So we've been adding to it as we go. This is a bog over here, so this holds a lot of water, and we put things that need a lot of water so that, you know, they get really big and tall like this. We're trying to create like a little oasis back here. This is our blackberry bush, which is started as a little tiny thing, and you have to cut it back like crazy every year because it loves this spot. These sunflowers started growing, and I don't have the heart to pull them out because they're so cool. So I've kind of left these here. So we have milkweed.
Did the sunflowers grow on their own, or did you plant
They
them?
grew on their own.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. They just kind of showed up. We have milkweed. We have milkweed here, which I wanted the milkweed. I didn't know it was going to grow here, but the butterflies need it in order for them to eat. So I left it here. It smells incredible. I don't know if you can smell like the perfume in the air. That's the milkweed. Here's my little garden guy smiling at you with his new hairdo. And then here, again, here is more. Oh, I got a butterfly on my sunflower, if you can see that. He's enjoying that.
Is this also an uninvited guest?
This one is the only one we put there on purpose. So, and then this is our vegetable garden. This is all lettuce. This is like bib lettuce. Again, here's some more sunflowers that decided to, stop in, and I'm not going to tear them out because I have the room for them. There's some, there's another head of lettuce. These are peppers and then tomatoes. I incorporate art that I pick up, or things that I call art that people have made. So you see little things here and there that are kind of unique.
Tell me about yourself and gardening. How long have you been a gardener?
I have always, as soon as I could own a house, I've always wanted to, put stuff in and grow stuff. I try to stick predominantly with perennials, things that come back every year. So once you get them established, you don't have to replant every year. All you have to do, this obviously has to be replanted, but other than that, I like things to just come back on their own, and I just clean it up. I thin it out or trim it, but I don't have to replant every year. It just makes it a lot easier. And then the garden takes care of itself. When you first walk up, that area out there just comes back on its own, right in front of the fence. That just grows there every year, and I just go out there and tend to it a little, clean it up, pull the dead stuff out, and we move on.
This is what we use to water the plants. It's a 275-gallon water drum that's hooked to the gutter. And if you see up on the gutter, that little space, that's so the leaves shoot out and don't go in the barrel. And I bought a little over $100 pump from Harbor Freight. I plug it in. I got 65 pounds of water pressure on the hose. So we use this for the plants because it doesn't have none of the chlorine or the other stuff with the city water. And thus, we can water our lawn, and we're not paying extra on our water bill.
I overwinter just about everything inside except for the flowering plants. Like I buy those annuals. But this is alpaca, 2 different kinds, and I've overwintered that inside. The house. Different type of coleus, again, overwintered inside. Jasmine. This I bought this year. I'm going to attempt to overwinter inside.
Tell me about overwintering. Is it absolutely necessary, or is it just?
Yeah, these are exotics.
Yeah.
I do have others that will be year round. Like for instance, this tree, although it's not doing too well today, This one here is I've had for almost 30 years. I wanted to have a twin of it, and that's overwintered outside. But not everything's overwintered outside. Just let everything else. I got to dry it in. Have to have the insects killed first. I treated this up with 7.
How long have you yourself been a gardener?
Gee, a long time.
Years,
A
right?
long time, yeah.
I noticed you've even got them up high.
Yeah.
So you're partial to container gardening, obviously.
Yeah. Clubs helped me a lot. For
Uh-huh.
years, I've learned a lot.
Tell me about your rain barrel. How long have you had that?
Well, I've had about 6 years. That's a half butt. It's not a full butt. I originally had one which I gave to a garden club member. It was too far. And I found one that was flush against the wall. And I
Nice.
liked that much better.
Right,
And
right.
no, rain barrels are terrific.
Really? How so? How, is it, how much water does it deliver? Enough for your plants, or do you have to supplement it with the hose?
I have to supplement with the hose, but it makes a difference. This is the water that I use. I have orchids inside. I use that for my orchids. And it's like night and day to have rainwater compared to regular water.
Really? Tell me about that. How so? What's wrong with, is it the chlorine, or what is it?
It's a chlorine.
Yeah,
Yes.
the plants don't react well to it?
Correct. You can gut around it. You can put something in a container and let it evaporate. Like in the winter, I do that because I run out of rainwater. And I just, if you leave it a couple days open, the chlorine will evaporate out of it. But I usually, the ones I use with this now would be these hanging ones here. They would be given the rainwater priority. Anything over here that have to water by hand, I would use the rainwater. I got a little barrel, a little jug thing here, which I walk around with.
Tell me what else we have.
Well, this is a different cactus I have. Got my frog feeding, as you can see. Frogs and turtles, mostly my food. Owls. I get a lot of butterflies come to my garden, and hummingbird moth. It's too early for it right now, but only this last couple years. I actually think it's climate warming that brought the hummingbird moth in. And it almost looks like a hummingbird. It's a big thing. It's at least that big.
Really?
Yeah. This I keep out year round. This has I do put a insulating cover around the outside of the window. These are overwintered in the house. This is a form of elephant ear. This one's called coffee cup. I just my dad in. This is moonflower, which I haven't finished weeding. Oleanders that I put them in the house and throw them out. These are perennials I keep in the ground here. My friend made this. Actually, I bought these birds at we should go to a house sale, and my friend's a carpenter, and he made that stand for me. I think he did a fantastic job.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? So happy with what he did there. He thinks I should put a nest on it, but I disagree. I want that baby bird to be zen. Right.
Very good. How are how are your neighbors react to your garden?
Oh, very supportive.
Yeah.
Well, about 50 years ago, my sister told me to join a book club, and it was on gardening. So I ordered a book, and it told me how to grow plants from seed under lights. So that is what I've been doing ever since. And all these plants have been grown under lights and planted out in May.
And so you grow them in the early spring or over the winter? How does that work out?
I grow them in, I order the seeds in December, and then come January, the end of January, I grow them in flats. When they're about 4 leaves, I transplant them to 4 packs, like the ones you would see in the garden centers. And then I hold them over and feed them, water them till May. And then I plant them out in my yard and in front.
And how many years have you been doing this for?
Oh, about 50 years.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And from seed?
Yes.
And does that hold any kind of a special satisfaction for you as opposed to going to a garden center and buying
it gives me a sense of accomplishment, and it just brings me closer to nature. Flowers and, well, tea roses, but they didn't like the soil very much. So I had the knockout roses put in.
I've heard knockout roses are a little more hardy. Is that true?
They are much hardier. I grew these. Don't look at the smash that a dog was going through here. I grew these for my neighbor 50 years ago.
Is that right?
Uh-huh.
And I imagine
So she didn't have to pull weeds. So
these kind of crowd everything out,
They
right?
do.
Yeah. Nice. And what kind of plant would I call
Oh,
it?
those are hostas.
Gotcha. It wouldn't be the southwest
Now
side
these
if
are
it-
peonies, but I didn't grow them. The lady, because I did that for her, she gave me some of her peonies.
They're beautiful when they bloom.
Oh yeah, they were. And they were nice in the house.
I'll bet. Tell me what else we have.
And I have perennial baby's breath. And this is echinacea. And this is the platycodon or balloon flower. Oh, this is a weed coming up. Don't show that. This is Heliopsis. Echinacea again. And I had, because I grow, oh, this is butterfly weed. The ones that are short are from this year. We're supposed to be in zone 5, but I ordered seed for zone 5, and to my dismay, we had such a bad winter. They didn't survive, so it's a good thing I grew about 800 plants. So I entered.
So you grew about 800 plants from seed inside.
I did.
Nice.
And this is my vegetable garden, kind of slow in coming up, but I grow basil, zucchini, the tomatoes, and the tall plants are horseradish. And then I have radishes around and cucumbers.
So this will be on your table at some point.
Oh yeah. And these are my wave petunias that I put in pouches.
Does it come in a pouch, or do you have to make that yourself?
I planted them.
Okay. Beautiful. Tell me what else we have here.
Well, the geraniums, they were blooming indoors, so I had to pinch them back, so they'll be blooming shortly. And echinacea, the Shasta daisy, and then daylilies. And then the yellow plants are Heliopsis, and the little pink ones here are, oh man, I can't think. It'll come
That's
to
okay.
me. And this is Scabiosum. And red ones are Monarda. These are Centuria. I pinched them back, but now they're going to start blooming again. And this is Naudia. This was, this is Joe Pye Weeder. I can't think of the botanical name.
Your garden attracts a lot of bees and butterflies.
Yes, it does. This at first I thought was a weed. And I'm glad I left it because it's a flower.
So it's not something you put in on your own?
I did grow it last year, but I thought it had died.
Right.
And this is the only one left in this area.
Resilient.
Yes. And unfortunately, at this time, more would be in bloom in another week or two, but we're kind of late with the cool spring, you know.
Yeah, I've heard that from the other gardeners too.
Yeah, so.
Did the severe winter, did it have a negative impact on what was out here?
Oh yeah, that's why I have little flowering plants in between. It killed them. And yet, The map said there, and the book seed catalog said they were hardy for this area, but obviously this was a lot colder
Yeah.
this
and,
winter.
and there was a lot more snow
Yes.
covering.